guys, what's up? I'm Jordan Crook with TechCrunch, and we're at CES. I'm here with the CEO and founder of Aereo, Chet Kanojia.
Hey Jordan, good to see you again.
I know, we actually spoke like, what, 10 minutes ago or
weeks,
something? It was like so recently. So for people that don't know what Aereo is all about, why don't you kind of explain?
So the Aereo, we think of it as the simplest way you can get TV on the internet without a cable subscription. So we go into a market and put some equipment in there, and then presto, you go sign up on a website, no box, no computer, nothing required. And for a very low price, you can get 30 channels in HD, all the top networks, and without paying a cable subscription. All you need is internet access.
So can you explain kind of how that works? Because it seems like that goes against everything. Yeah, it's like too good to be true. Like what? How are you doing this?
We've been trained. You cannot. So what the company did was we built these miniature TV antennas that we build into the cloud. So we go in a city, we'll have a large video switch in which we'll build in millions of antennas, and then which are coupled to a DVR. So it's all a server-side infrastructure, and it's when you sign up, you get an antenna, a DVR, and basically you're picking up over-the-air signals, just doing it remotely. It's pretty cool.
So it's kind of like rabbit ears, right? That's what the first time I heard about it. That's the way that I imagined it. Is like miniature rabbit ears stuck somewhere in a server room and
remote rabbit ears. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So I want to talk a little bit about your history, because I know you've done some interesting things. What kind of brought you into this space? Why do you want to do this?
So my last 10 years before this, in late 99, early 2000, I started a company which became fairly large. It was a company that had pioneered how to collect viewership data in cable systems. So we actually would put a piece of software in the cable box. We would work with the cable companies, and then we had a big server infrastructure that would collect in real time all the viewership. So channel changes, DVR usage, all kinds of different things. And there were a lot of uses for that data. One was spectrum planning, one was advertising sales. And on top, we built an ad platform. So I was very built in with the cable industry and the media industry in general. I sold that company to Microsoft in early 2008. And then
that's a win.
That was a huge win. Actually, it was a several $100 million exit. And,
nice.
So it was a question of, at a point in my life, what do I do next? And option A was do nothing, but that wasn't really an option. And option B was, become an investor or a seed angel investor, a VC. And I like the combat of building things. I love working at the early stage. It's just great to dream up a product, build it, sell it, convince people that it's a good idea. And the third option was go do something crazy and start again. And so that's what I chose to do.
Yeah, the crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Aereo is kind of crazy.
Well, it is and it isn't, right? Because it's so obvious that consumers have and used to be able to pick up TV with an antenna, and they were pretty happy with it. But it's clumsy. It's technologically inefficient. Consumers want convenience, right? Simple. And so people kind of forgot that. And then the packaging of the technology and content in the 80s and 90s happened in such a way that convenience went out initially, and then the price started escalating, and now we felt like there's time and place where the rights are still the same, the consumers still have that privilege given by the government.
Yeah.
But you and I both know, anybody under the age of 30 isn't running to call a cable company and say, hey, hook me up. Broadband, and that's all kind of what people need.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever met a human being who's gone and bought rabbit ears. I don't think I know one. And maybe my grandfather, but I don't know one. I don't think.
Maybe one generation down.
Okay, so there is a legal battle though.
Yeah.
So the broadcasters, not the networks, but the broadcasters.
The networks as well.
The networks as well.
Right.
Okay, so they're upset because essentially what Aereo does is it takes the free over-the-air signals right out of the air without actually paying out for anything, which is completely legal, like we talked about, because of rabbit ears and stuff like that. So can you explain a little bit about what's going on?
So the networks had sued us right after we announced our intention to launch, and as part of the legal proceeding, they had asked for an injunction to be issued against the company, and as a result, there was a trial to determine the merits of the technology. And we were very fortunate. The court really dug in deep, understood what the technology was, saw it the way we hoped they would, which was it was absolutely based in sound principle and in terms of existing precedent, and said no need to stop them, let them go. And so that was great. It was a very significant win because that allowed us to kind of really start going after customers, building the foundation of the company to expand, and all the things that companies need to do.
Absolutely. And now I think that where we're at right now is that they're filing an appeal on that.
They have filed an appeal.
They have filed an appeal on the original preliminary injunction,
Right.
but the main lawsuit hasn't even happened yet.
Correct.
We're still working on finding evidence and all that
The
stuff.
process is ensuing, but the early stage was a very in-depth process on the technology, which is really the critical part of this whole thing, is right.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. Well, you guys just got a ton of funding, right?
we did.
And you've had a lot of funding before, and as I understand it, your overhead costs aren't that great. So after the building of the actual hardware and the servers, your costs are very low, which is why you can offer this service to customers for $1 a day or $8 a month.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, where is all this funding gonna go? I mean, you guys have like a truckload of money. What are you
Well, the
gonna do with it?
infrastructure does cost money, right? So there's a per subscriber cost.
Okay.
So the antennas, the DVR, the servers, I mean, it's all costs a lot of money. So it's tens of millions of dollars to build the infrastructure out. So that's a portion of it. We haven't yet done any marketing.
Oh.
So that sort of phase that we're entering in is we'll start doing some marketing in New York, and we've been very lucky that the word of mouth has been so strong that great traction for area. But the general population still, I mean, if you talk to an ordinary person on the street, they've never heard of us. So, but we think it's such a cool story that first time you can get HD, no box, no cable subscription for $8. I mean, it's never happened before.
It's
right?
crazy. It really is. So you used to be just in New York. Now you've expanded to how many cities?
We've announced that we're expanding to 22 more cities, which will give access to over 90 million people to be able to access Aereo at any given time.
Wow.
So it's a big step.
Yeah.
Team's super jacked, and everybody's worked really hard. And it's really interesting because it's such a big mission.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel fortunate that you don't have to like ask anybody to work hard. They're all extremely motivated.
Well, that's awesome. I'm always really excited to talk to you because I just feel like what you guys are doing really will make a difference, especially with this new expansion. I mean, the opportunity there is crazy. So
I mean, we've been really surprised, cities like Raleigh, Durham, Madison, Wisconsin. I mean, even like, areas that I've been once or twice, but I would have never thought that people there are watching, monitoring, and we're getting like tons of requests, tweets, initial signups. We've been very shocked at the velocity of the initial signups for early accounts, and so and it feels great to be able to say when people say, yeah, I want that. That's a product I like. So.
Well, Chet, thank you so much
you're
for
welcome.
chatting to me. I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.